from what has been shown, it becomes clear that divine providence reaches down to the singularities of things that are generable and corruptible. For it seems that there is no providence of these, except because of their contingency, and because many things happen in them by chance and fortuitous. For in this only they differ from the incorruptible and universal corruptibles, whose providence they say is but contingency and chance and fortune, nor the will, as has been shown, are not inconsistent with providence. Nothing, therefore, prevents the providence of these also, as of the incorruptible and universal. Still, if God does not have the providence of these particulars, it is either because he does not know them, or because he cannot, or because he does not want to take care of them. But it cannot be said that God does not know particulars, for it has been shown above that God has knowledge of them, nor can it be said that God cannot take care of them, since his power is infinite, as has been proved above. Nor are these particulars capable of government, when we see that they are governed by the energy of reason, as is evident in men, and by natural instinct, as is evident in bees and many brute animals, which are governed by a certain natural instinct. Nor can it be said that God does not want to govern them, since his will is universally all good. But the good of those who are governed consists chiefly in the order of government. Further, all secondary causes, in that they exist, achieve divine likeness, as is clear from what has been said above. Now this is commonly found in causes which produce something, which have a care for that which they produce, as animals naturally nourish their fetuses. God therefore cares for those whose cause exists. There is also a reason for these particulars, as is clear from what has been said above. He therefore takes care of them. Again, it has been shown above that God does not act in created things by the necessity of nature, but by will and understanding. But those things which are done by the intellect and the will are subject to the care of the provident, which seems to consist in the fact that some things are dispensed by the intellect. Therefore, those things which are done by him are subject to divine providence. Now it has been shown above that God works in all secondary causes, and all their effects are brought back to God as the cause. And so it must be that what is done in these particulars are his works. Therefore these particulars and their movements and operations are subject to divine providence. In addition, foolish is the providence of one who does not care for those things without which those things which he cares for cannot exist. Now it is certain that if all the particulars failed, their universals could not remain. If therefore God cares only for the universals, but completely abandons these particulars, his providence will be foolish and imperfect. But if someone says that God cares about these particulars to the point that they are preserved in being, but not as to other things, this cannot be at all. For all other things which happen to particulars are directed to their preservation or corruption. If therefore God has the care of individuals as to their preservation, he has the care of all things contingent upon them. But one may say that the care of universals alone is sufficient for the preservation of particulars in existence. For every species has been provided with those things by which every individual of that species can be preserved in existence, just as animals have been given organs to take in and digest food and horns to protect themselves. But the benefits of these do not fail except in a minor part. Since those which are from nature, they produce their effects either always or frequently. and so all individuals cannot fail, even if some fail. But according to this reason, everything that happens to individuals will be subject to providence, as well as their preservation in being, because nothing can happen about the singularities of a species that is not reduced in some way to the principles of that species. Therefore, particulars are no more subject to divine providence as regards the preservation of being than as regards other things. In addition, in the comparison of things with their end, such an order appears that accidents are for the sake of substances, that they may be accomplished by means of them. But in substances there is matter because of form. For through this he partakes of the divine goodness, for the sake of which all things were made, as was shown above. From this it is clear that they are singular because of their universal nature. The sign of this is that in those in which the universal nature can be preserved by one individual, there are not many individuals of one species, as is evident in the sun and the moon. But since providence is the ordering of some things to an end, it is necessary that both the ends and those which are for the end belong to providence. Therefore, not only universal, but also particular providences are underlying. Still, this is the difference between speculative and practical knowledge, that speculative knowledge and those things which belong to it are accomplished in the universal, but those things which pertain to practical knowledge are accomplished in the particular. For the end of speculation is truth, which first and by itself consists in the immaterial and in the universal. But the end of practicality is the operation which is about particulars. Hence the physician does not care for man in general, but for this man, and to this the whole science of medicine is directed. Now it is agreed that providence belongs to practical knowledge, since it is the ordering of things to an end. Therefore God's providence would be most imperfect if it consisted in universals and did not even reach the particulars. Again, speculative knowledge is more perfected in the universal than in the particular, because universals are known more than particulars, and for this reason the knowledge of the most universal principles is common to all. But he is more perfect in speculative knowledge, who has not only a universal, but a proper knowledge of things. For he who knows only in the universal knows the thing only in potential. Because of this, the student is reduced from universal knowledge of principles to a specific knowledge of conclusions by the teacher, who has both knowledge. Just as something is reduced from potential to act by being in act, he is therefore much more perfect in practical knowledge, who arranges things not only in the universal, but also in the particular for action. Divine providence, therefore, which is most perfect, extends itself even to singularities. Further, since God is the cause of being insofar as he is a being, as has been shown above, it is necessary that he himself be the provider of being insofar as he is a being, for he provides for things insofar as he is their cause. Whatever, therefore, in whatever way it is, falls under his providence. Now they are singular beings, and more so than universals, because universals do not subsist by themselves, but exist only in particulars. Therefore there is a divine providence, even of individuals. Again, created things are subject to divine providence, as they are directed by him to the ultimate end, which is his own goodness. Therefore the participation of divine goodness in created things is through divine providence. But singular contingencies also partake of the divine goodness. It is therefore necessary that divine providence should also extend to them. Hence it is said that Matthew 6, 2 sparrows come to the ground, and one of them does not fall to the ground without my Father. And Wisdom 8:1. He reaches from end to end with strength, that is, from the first creatures to the lowest of them. Ezekiel 9:9 also argues the opinion of some who said, "The Lord forsakes the earth, the Lord does not see." And Job 22:14. He walks about the hinges of heaven and does not consider ours. By this, however, the opinion of some is excluded who have said that divine providence does not extend to these particulars. This is indeed the opinion some impose on Aristotle, although it cannot be deduced from his words.